Yep, I am here. I'm here. Everything's fine. We literally just got an alert on our phones, like all over Australia, I believe. But it also, the alert said, stand by and do nothing. So we're just doing nothing, I guess. Yes. So what is up, chat? What is up besides the sky? What is up with the light? Okay. I've had a bit of a crazy day already. I have not got any makeup on whatsoever, so I don't know if you guys can even see my eyes. I think so. I might just fix that real quick. The eyeliner. I really like this eyeliner because it is a brown eyeliner. So it's like a little bit softer than your like really dark black. And it's sort of, it does kind of feather out a bit and smudge a little bit, so. I missed my eyelid. I missed it entirely, chat. That's okay, because I will fix that. I will fix that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. And on top with the fleek. The fleek is very important. You really want to get that fleek right there. The fleek is everything. Yes, you might also be wondering, why are we riding so low today? And there is a very, very good explanation for that, which I will explain in a moment. Okay. Yep, that is better. I have eyes now. Okay. So today I will be doing like some, as the thing says, I will be going through some of the Magic the Gathering cards I have here. There's more stuff that I'll really be unboxing more than anything else. Okay, so we're looking good, guys. We're looking good. Yeah, so yes, what I do is I get a Q-tip and I actually just dip it in, like I press it against the wet wipes, and that just gives enough of the like wet wipe product to help, to just enough that I can like just clean up edges like a little bit, because I don't need like an entire wet wipe unless I'm like fully taking off the makeup, which I do at the end of the stream. So yes, so now you should be able to see my eyes. Yeah. And so you can also read my lips. Oh, do a little bit of this. I absolutely love this jelly. This is a tint. It's very important. This is a tint. And I prefer tints because tints, like, they are like stay fast. Like they don't come off like super easily or anything. You just need to apply it and let it dry, and then later on when it is like properly set and dry, I'll use a little bit of the tinted Vaseline to like properly seal it. Yeah. Yeah. And that's my very, very simple makeup routine. If I'm feeling a little more like, you know, being a little more extra, I would put a little bit of this eyeshadow. I love this one. Like, because I have so many allergies, for me, the like cheap drugstore stuff that has less like allergens in it tends to be like safer and better for me. So I do in fact love this so this is like the Maybelline one, and I love this palette. This palette's got the nice neutrals with just a hint of like the pink, and it certainly has some sparkle, so that usually works quite nicely on my eyes, my eyelids, because I got brown eyes. It actually like complements it really well. So yes, a little bit of the girly stuff. Yes, so I am a bit like a little bit disorganized right now, but okay, so this literally happened. The stand that I usually put you guys on like snapped in half completely. Now I'm wondering, like, I was talking to my dad and he's like, where it broke, you can't really fix it because you what if it had broken like more in the middle here, you could put like a reinforced piece of plastic or even a piece of metal or something, like just you could reinforce it with something, and then like wrap it tightly with some cord or something, but because it's like here on the corner, it's a little bit like you can't really do that too effectively without, and like where it screws in, it will like affect where it screws in. But I am wondering if I can like 3D print a spare part, because you can actually unscrew it here as well. So I guess I'll have to figure that out. And my mum, who loves shopping, was just like buy another one, which I mean it's fair, but like that, I mean that is a fair point. That is a fair point. I could just log online and buy another one. I would just have to wait for it to be delivered. And I actually think that because I am a little bit of a shopaholic, I have probably done that. I've probably ordered one in, and it's probably in this pile of stuff that I have not unboxed yet, because I was actually waiting for you guys. I was actually thinking, you know what, I will unbox on stream, because unboxing videos tend to do quite well, because people seem to like unboxing things, because it kind of feels like Christmas. Yeah, so now I've just got you leaned up against the laptop there, but it is kind of like you're riding a bit lower than you usually would, because usually if I have you on the stand, you're like somewhere about here. So here you're kind of like, yeah. But we'll see if we can fix that, actually. We'll see if we can fix that by, maybe I might have a stand or something in this pile of stuff. But because this is a Magic the Gathering stream, I am going to go through some Magic the Gathering stuff. So this is Future Sight ones. I have a lot of Time Spiral stuff in here that I want to go through. I have a lot of Time Spiral stuff. So, you know what, we'll just go through this box. I reckon I've got a lot of, like, commons and stuff in this box as well. At some point I had a Lorwyn one. What's that? So there might be some Lorwyn ones floating around. These are I mean, these are all pre-opened, so I guess I must have opened them at some stage, so... Yeah, and these are all low wins. These ones. I've got a counter for an elf warrior. Is it worth keeping the counter cards? I mean, I suppose, like, if you've got cards that require, like, you know, a +1/+1 elf warrior, then that'd be useful, but they do have, like, the advertising stuff on the back, so it's not like they have the proper, like, the same backings as other cards. So, I think I must have already taken out the special card from this deck. Oh, actually, maybe I didn't. Maybe I just spoiled stuff for myself. Okay, let's have a look. Creature, Goblin, Rogue. Creature. So this is Goblin Rogue. Warren Pilferers. When Pilferers come into play, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. If that card is a Goblin card, Warren Pilferers gains haste until end of turn. The flavor text there is, what do they need all this stuff for? They're dead. We're alive. Simple enough. So, yeah, this is grave rubbering stuffs. Yeah. The lighting is a little bit weird today as well, I gotta say. Something about this lamp. I gotta get better lamps. Anyway. Yes, and this is a 3/3, so that's a pretty big guy. It is a 4 any color, and a black mana, so total of 5. So, I mean, 3/3 is pretty good, but I don't know, I think that's mana-wise quite expensive, honestly. It would be better if you have some way of fetching this card out to, like, actually use it. But its ability is pretty damn good. Because it's target creature from the graveyard. So, firstly, since it's the graveyard, you would have already opened it and thus known what is in your graveyard. And secondly, the fact that it can target a specific card is actually pretty useful because you can then actually get that card. And having haste on a 3/3 is really good as well. But I think it is a bit pricey. Mana-wise. I don't know how much is actually worth, like, worth. Actually, maybe I can start looking that up. Let's see how much these cards are actually worth. Warren Pilferers. Let's log on to internet. And let's go. Warren Pilferers. Are they even on eBay or anywhere? Look at price. Let's see. They've got some places that do pricings. So this place that says that they're selling them for 35 cents, 40 cents. Some places are selling them for $1. That's kind of pricey. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're between $1 and $2. Looks like for some reason in July of 2025 they spiked and people were buying them for $2.18. Wonder what happened there. Maybe there was some sort of tournament or something. It depends what grade they are. That is an important point. Yes. Okay, so maybe that spike was because someone had a PSA 10. That could have been it. Yeah. Yeah. So PSA 10s go for about $2 something. But grade, like, lower grades below, like, grade 7s are going for 37 to 40 cents. Okay. There we go. We learned that. And I learned that I can look that up online. That is pretty cool. Yeah. So, next one is A Fistful of Force, which is a green, one colorless, one green, and little tree there. Yeah. Its target creature gets +2/+2. It's an instant, I believe, so that's... Yeah, it's an instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. I do love instants. This means you can enchant a creature that's, like, you know, already charging it to battle all haste, and then people declare blocks, and then you go, ha-ha! It's now +2/+2. It climbs over whatever you're blocking. So, clash with an opponent. If you win, that creature gets an additional +2/+2 and gains trample until the end of the turn. This is, like, totally your, haha, surprise! It is bigger and now trampling you. Haha. That's pretty good. That is that does quite a lot for your, so mana economics wise, that does quite a lot for your, like, 2 mana. And yeah, again, we can totally look up Fistful of Force. That is a green kapow. Let's see, maybe we can look up... Okay, so the Warren Pilferers is number 146. But this Fistful of Force, can I just search in the websites that I am already in? Is a good question. Or do I have to Google? I can search cards. This Scry Market beta, so it's not even in full. And it's already better than that other website I was looking at. Fistful of Force. Okay. Yeah. This is actually slightly more expensive card. It is 75 cents that they're selling that at. This one here, let's see. Fistful of Force. Okay. Again, it depends on... Okay, this one seems to depend more on what edition you got. Because it appears that there were different levels of editions. There's one which is of a metal one. So... Okay. So the lowest price someone has bought it for is 14 cents. And the foil one was 69 cents. They knew what they were doing. But there was, like, some collector's edition or something. I want to find out more about this. Anthrax Fistful of Metal CD Sealed Long Custom Art Megaforce promo set. What? Was this a card or was this a... It says it's a CD. That's weird. Because that was a couple of $100. But I think that was like a really special kind of like promotional thing that was not actually the card. Someone paid $15? Okay, this is a near mint one, but it is actually currently on eBay for $15.99 US. And that does not include the shipping, which is another $5.99. So somebody is trying to sell it for a bit more. A little bit more. And that's near mint. That isn't mint. Let me just check their PSA on this. If it's a particularly high PSA. They seem to be getting like really good reviews, so it doesn't sound like they've been scamming people. They do seem to be asking a pretty high price though, for what is in fact it's a common card. Like you can see here, it's just the black printed symbol, which means it's not a particularly rare card, because the particularly rare ones have like a silver foil or a gold foil there. But hey, if this guy is selling it for that much, I might try selling it for that much. It has been sold for that much, but as a package like with other cards. So I don't know if maybe that's how that person is keying their pricing. But the one on eBay is like, it's just the single card that is there on eBay right now. But I actually think, like, I don't know if I'd pay that much for the card, but I definitely think that for a 2 mana drop, and it does like literally all that, I think economy, like mana economy wise, that's actually a pretty good card. If you play green as well. Like, I mean, I don't tend to play green, so I don't know if I'll ever use it, but there you go. Ah, blue, my arch nemesis. Blue. This is quite a mana expensive one. It's a 5 colors plus a blue, which makes a total of 6. It's called Ether Snipe. But it's not an instant. It's a creature. It's an elemental creature. And when Ether Snipe comes into play, you return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, which, for that much, I mean, I can kind of understand how that can be good, but that's a very situationally good. Like, if you target, like, someone brought out, like, say, I've worked really hard to get out a Gargadon, and that's, like, a 10/10, and it's, like, huge, and it's flying, and all sorts of things, and then, and I've gone to the trouble of enchanting it and all that, then this is, like, it goes back to your hand, it's just like, oh, all that hard work, all that mana spent. Yes, this could be amazing for doing something like that, but if it's, like, oh, this comes out, and the other person's just got, like, has been playing a sorcery deck, say, and they've just been burning, and so they don't actually have creatures and stuff on the table, then this would be pretty useless. Yeah, so, I mean, it has the potential to be, like, huge. It's also got the evoke. So the evoke is you can play it like as a sorcery. So it just but it says you may play this spell for its evoke cost. If you do, it's sacrificed when it comes into play. So if you have some tricky thing where sacrificing like does damage of some sort, then I suppose this would also be good. So this the evoke cost is significantly lower. It is a 1 colorless with 2 blues. If you got a pure blue deck, that's like not a problem. If you gotta fetch the blue lands, then that might cause some issues. It's a 4/4 though, so it's a significantly like well-sized creature for the mana cost. Yeah. So, and let's find out what it's worth. Let's go Google search. So it's called and it's spelt weird, and I don't know whether that will make it harder to find. That might make it a little trickier to find. It is like a common, so it's blue. But like, yeah, there are a couple $5-6 cards on eBay currently. And some of these other websites, let's see what they priced it at. Okay. Priced it at. Okay, so we've got a lot of near mints. It doesn't look like it's going for a lot. They're about $2. Yeah, I would say on average about between... Whoop, hold on. Why is Speechify trying to open? That's not what I want. I was trying to click the scroll button. Yeah, the price has gone up and down a little bit, but it kind of peaked out at $2.50. $2.50, $5-ish. It peaked at $2.75. It peaked at $2.75. Again, in July. I'm wondering if July was like some sort of tax break for some people. Or like they got their tax return and they were like, I'm gonna spend it on cards. Which, you know, would totally be something I'd do. I'd be like, yay, I got my tax return, now let's spend it on something stupid. I wouldn't say stupid, actually. I'd say fun. Time to spend it on something fun. So, there we go. It's like, I have adult money now, I'm gonna buy adult things like Magic the Gathering cards. Quill Slinger Boggart is the next card. It is a 3 colorless and 1 black specifically. So it is, at a 4 mana drop, it is a 3/2, which is pretty good attacky. Whenever a player plays a Kithkin spell, you may have target player lose 1 life. Ooh, that is good if you build. This is a type of card you can build a deck around. You get this on the table and you start spamming Kithkin spells. This would also be funny if you like happen to know that someone is going to play a Kithkin deck. Then you go, I have the perfect deck to go up against that. If you and your friends are kind of metagamey, which me and my ex-boyfriend were extremely metagamey, so like we would totally do things like that. So Broken Ambitions is the next one. Wait, I did not look up Quill Slinger Bogart. Let's see how much that's worth, like in actual monies. Quill Slinger Bogart. Okay, there's one on eBay for $279. There's one for $128. I mean, I think in general commons tend to be like, you can get it like dirt cheap for like 15 cents in a bargain bin, like if you're super lucky, or like they tend to be about $1, like roughly $1, particularly if you're buying them online. And like, of course it depends on like, you know, how good the card is in general. Like if its special ability is particularly sought after. As well as like, I think the art definitely also influences it. Like, I would definitely, like, there are definitely some cards that I would buy purely because I love the art. Like, it just looks so cool. But there's also, like, I've definitely, like, say Gauntlet of Power. I, like, bought that because I was like, I know I can build a deck around this. I know that, like, and, like, I had already, like, had plans for it. That's why I got it. So, yeah. So, I mean, I think there are some cards that are definitely sought after more than others. But yeah, it looks like this one, this Quill Slinger Bogart, it's pretty, like, common, pretty average pricings. I haven't seen any... I don't see any particularly, like, big spikes in its, like, reported on these websites. Yeah, it's looking like it goes for around between 15 cents to $2, which is pretty standard for a common card. I'm not seeing anything above the $2 mark. Again, someone's trying to sell it for $15.99. I am kind of wondering about this person, who seems to be getting a lot of good reviews, but also seems to be selling cards at quite a high price. It looks like a lot of their buyers are like people who have bought them from out of, like from a different country though, so. And they seem to, like, their reviews are saying that they communicated really well and that, like, you know, they made sure that the card was properly packed and delivered to the people. So maybe they're, even though they're charging a premium price, they are, like, giving their customers premium service. And I mean, a lot of the cards that appears to have been sold seems to be foil ones or like, you know, special ones on their website. But I am kind of like a little bit like wondering why they're selling these commons for such a high price. I mean, it looks like all their cards are like roughly around the same price, so maybe they just like, even though like I said, even though some of them is like, okay, it kind of makes sense, they're foils or special in some way. But it also looks like all the cards they're listing are near mint or better. Or like, so that could be mint, could be near mint, so I don't know if that's probably the reason why they're commanding such higher prices. So I mean I expect that's probably why they're commanding higher prices, is because they've got like they're properly protecting their cards. The cards are near mint or mint, and they're offering like foil versions or special type versions of the card. But it looks like if it's just like a normal card, it looks like it's around $2-ish. So next one is Broken Ambitions. It's a blue, and it is a 1, and the X means an amount. It's like your algebra. So this is an instant counter target spell unless its controller pays X. Clash with an opponent. If you win, that spell's controller puts the top 4 cards of his or her library into her graveyard. His or her graveyard. Each clashing player reveals the top card of his or her library, then puts that card on the top or bottom. A player wins his or her card had a higher converted mana cost. I'm kind of loving that it has like his or her, because like if you're non-binary, does the spell like fizzle out? It's like, ha! Secret Magic the Gathering power. Yeah. So, yeah, this is good if you can like pay more mana than your opponent, because then you can ensure the card goes through, unless the opponent has some clever way of summoning mana, like surprise mana. But I mean, that's extremely rare, so it's very likely you can somehow make sure this goes through by timing your cast when, because it's an instant, so you can cast it during any phase, so you can time it like after they've tapped out. Yeah. Which, if it's countering a target spell, usually they've spent the mana to like cast that spell in the first place, so I would say this is a pretty useful card to nope out somebody else's spell. Again, let's see how much this is worth. Broken Ambitions. Okay, Broken Ambitions. Okay, interesting. Like, the lowest price it appears to be sold for is 32 cents. So, and again, as a common card, it is selling for between $1 to $2, but as a foily, it has sold for $5 previously. Again, that same person is selling for $15.99, which is a bit of a premium price. And again, I think that person might just be offering premium service, because people are saying that they're delivering it, like, you know, to remote or difficult to get to places, like where it's like difficult to get the cards, so that could be a factor for sure. It has sold for $4.99, but that's the Spanish version. I don't know whether it being Spanish had anything to do with that. It's quite possible it did. I'm just gonna close a few of these windows because I'm getting a little, like, you know what it's like, you get like hundreds of tabs open. Yeah, it's getting a little out of hand. But as to be expected, yeah, roughly, unless you've got a foilie, which is going for $5, $7, $8. Yeah, it appears to be in the $1, $2 kind of. Oh, someone sold a foil for $8.95. That's cool. So yeah, the foil one obviously worth a lot more, and I can kind of understand it because if you look at the actual artwork there with the glow, like around the tree, that I would totally agree that that glow right there would look pretty good as a foil. I can understand why the shimmer or glow of the foiliness would definitely be more sought after for this particular card. Especially since I think it would really bring out these colors around the edges here and like right in the center with the blues, the purples, and pinks. I think that would be very pretty as a foil. I totally understand why people would pay much more premium price for the foil. Okay. Next one is Nath Buffoon. Creature, Goblin Rogue. Protection from elves. Okay. This guy seems to be loved amongst the elves. Smirk learned the elvish dance quickly enough. The most difficult yet most important step was to stay out of Nath's sight until called to perform. Okay, so he's a bit of a court jester. Has appeared to gain favor with the elves, and the elves like him. He is a 2-mana drop, so 1 colorless, 1 black, and he is a 1/1. That is a very respectable ratio of mana to power right there. So this guy is your very quick play, second turn, get him on the table kind of dude. Certainly strong against somebody who has elves in their deck. Yeah, he's pretty solid standard card. And especially if you play black. So he's a Nath's Buffoon. Let's see how he's been priced. He is not priced well at all. He's been sold for as low as 7 cents. Oof. Okay. They did not value his dancing skills at all. And I mean, he's not a very handsome guy either. He's a little goblin, green, scaly weirdo. So, like, I mean, it's still like, you know, artwork for MTG cards are always wonderful and amazing and fun, but and it looks like even that eBay guy is only selling him for like $6, which is a lot lower than their other cards. Okay, a couple of people are selling them for $1 to $2, which I would guess is just like they've probably gone, it's a common, all commons are probably around $1 to $2, which I think would be a totally fair assumption. Yeah, but it does not look like he's been selling very much, so he certainly doesn't seem like the type of card that you would purposely try to build a deck around. Unless, like I said, you were metagaming and you happen to know you have friends that really love playing elves. So, yeah. He's like your cheap 1 mana drops. Well, 2 mana drops. So, he's nothing fancy. This is the next one, Root Grapple. Oh, I did remember this was actually pretty good. It is expensive though, mana-wise. It is 4 colorless and 1 green. Root Grapple. This is a tribal instant. The important thing is it's an instant card. Instant cards, we like instant cards because then you can play them whenever the heck you want. It is a tree folk. Destroy target non-creature permanent. Okay, so a non-creature permanent does include your mana cards, your land cards, because unless they are in fact creatures. I mean, I suppose there are probably some, but your standard like land cards are probably targetable by this. So that is pretty awesome. You can also like get rid of enchantments and other non-creature-y things. If you control a tree folk, draw a card. So that also has ability. So mana-wise, a little pricey, but it does do lots of cool things. Well, 2 particularly cool things. And the flavor text. All the sylvan secrets of this world are etched between my rings. The skin folk's metal aberrations can rot between my roots. Ahaha. Said by Kolfanor the Last U, spelled Y-E-W. And I'm guessing the artwork kind of looks like a little bit insectoid, but it appears to be a creature that has like a tree-like structure attached to it. Or it seems to be symbiotic with the tree. Like, it looks like perhaps roots are growing through it, maybe? But this is... Okay, Root Grapple. Let's see how much it's worth. Root Grapple, Root Grapple. Okay. $350 on eBay. So it's a little bit more. It's going for a little bit more than your standard 1 drop. It's going for a little bit more. Yeah, there was one sold for... Oh, okay, so the foilies are again around $4 or $5. I should probably check if they're EU, AU, or US dollars too, because that can make somewhat of a difference. Yeah. MTG decks. It's not even showing up on this website. Let me try typing it in here. Am I spelling it right? I am spelling it right. That's interesting. I'm coming up with car parts. Apparently there is a car part called a root grapple. It's a rake clam grapple car part, which might be interfering with the pricing of this card a little bit. There was one sold at $1.22. Oh, that is a cheap foil. I would have thought that, like, as a foil, like, it would be kind of cool to see, like, these blue bits, like, a little bit foily, but, yeah, it looks like it's not going for very much, and I kind of suspect it might be because if anyone tries to Google the price, they come up with car parts. That could be a factor in it. Like I said, I did find one on eBay that is selling for $3.50. Looks like it's near mint quality, and it's just your, like, standard card, not foily in any way or anything like that. So I'm guessing that's the going price. There are ones that are slightly expensive, but they're like extended art or foily, or like, you know, some other thing about them is more. Like, yes, there's a Japanese foil that's going for like $6.78. I think these are all in Australian dollars, which, I don't know. I suppose we could work out the, let's see, AU to American dollar. How much would that be? That doesn't tell me anything. Where's the exchange app? Why don't you just bring me the exchange app? Why am I using Yahoo instead of Google? That's crazy. Why is Microsoft Edge always trying to edge in? I swear that's like that's Edge's thing. Is like I'll be like trying to open Google Chrome and it'll just be like eek eek edge 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 edge, and it's like, no, stop that. Stop that. I'm trying to use Chrome and Google here. Okay, so again, the current exchange is one Aussie dollar is worth 69 cents at US. That is kind of funny. That's a funny number. Okay, so $6. How much did I say it was? In Australian. So $6.78. $6.78 is about $4.74 US. Okay. I mean, yeah. So you're roughly around $5-ish in both currencies. Yeah. But like I said, like, you can get them for like $1-ish as well, so. Now, we got a silver, so it's slightly, it's rare-ish. Hold on, how does that work? Magic, like, I want to use the right terminology. TG silver symbol means, silver mark means that it is, okay, uncommon. So not rare, uncommon. Which I would guess the gold symbol means. I would guess that means rare, but I want to make sure I got the terminology right. Yeah, gold means rare. Okay, so silver means uncommon, gold means rare. Right. So this one is a uncommon, and it is 3 colorless mana and 1 black mana. It is called Fodder Launch. Fodder Launch. Around 4-ish mana in total, to me, is a little bit pricey. Little bit pricey. Mana-wise. Tribal Sorcery Goblin. Okay, so it is a sorcery card, interestingly enough, even though it is still... Okay, so it is... It's a sorcery card and a goblin card, but it's not a creature card. That's interesting. As an additional cost to play Fodder Launch, you sacrifice a goblin. So he even takes out another goblin. You know, as the black cards do kind of tend to be necromantic in nature. And target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn. So you can shrink other creatures out of the game. And Fodder Launch deals 5 damage to that creature's controller. Oh, okay. Okay. That's aggressive. I take it back. 4 mana is actually, like, a decent amount. Like, that's a fair exchange. That does a lot for your 4 mana right there. In fact, it does -5/-5. So it does, like, 5 to a creature, and then 5 to the player on top of that. You do have to sacrifice a goblin, so that does add to the cost of it, but, like, still, that does, like, a total of, like, 10 damage before you, like, you know, add any kind of enchants or other things to it. So I take that back. That's actually a decent mana economy right there. Which, again, that might be because it is uncommon. It's balanced that way. Now, speaking of rares, we have our rare, and it is it's called Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize. And it's got this cute little, like fairy type creature that's, like, you know, casting a spell into the ear of what looks a pointy ear, like it looks like an elven ear here. I think the artwork's very pretty. Especially, I like how it's got this little silver moon right in the corner as well. And, you know, I've said many a time I'm kind of a sucker for pinks and purples, so I really like this whole pink and purple color scheme going on here. It is a 1 mana drop. 1 shiny black mana. 1. I already love the mana economy on this card. So, it is a sorcery. Target player reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card and you lose 2 life. This is good if you have something that absorbs life, so you probably should try to set up something that, like, that mitigates that 2 life loss there. The flavor text is, any dream is a robust harvest. Still, I prefer the time-worn dreams, heavy with import, that haunt the obsessive mind. Black Card's flavor text always sounds so ominous. So yes, Thoughtseize. Very much like this card. I'm guessing if it's rare, it might be going for a bit more, so let's have a look-see. Let's have a look-see. Thoughtseize. That is one word, by the way. Of course, it's trying to correct. It's trying to auto-correct that. Auto-incorrect that. Again, we'll close off some of these windows. There are many windows popping up. Okay. Okay. This one looks like a much pricier card. I mean, you would expect that for a rare, I suppose. That does kind of make sense, yes. Oop. I've opened the same window twice. Let's see what we have here. It's going for $12.99. Yeah, okay. Again, I think that might be in Aussie dollars. And we'll go for 9. So that's about $9 US. So yeah, it's about $10-ish in US. $12.99 Australian. Where else? And that's the company that's selling it for that. And that is in near mint condition. It doesn't actually say what its PSA is. I'm not sure if that... matters in any way. I mean, I would guess that it does matter if it's a I mean, it usually matters what PSA it is, but it's like also these places that are listing them very, like, they just don't say it. And if they don't say it, I would just assume that it's like probably not a PSA 10. Because, I mean, if it is a PSA 10, you'd be telling everyone. You'd be like, yeah, it's totally a PSA 10, and therefore worth, like, lots more. Which, someone sold one for $35 US. And it says it's a secret lair drop, though. And it looks like the artwork's actually very, very different. Because it's like a black and white kind of thing happening. Let's see if I can show you at all. So it's got a very different kind of artwork there. The Time Spiral remastered. This is not Time Spiral. I have a lot of Time Spiral stuff. I would love the Time Spiral series. But the Time Spiral one is like, went for $13.68. They have a few other variations of the artworks that are going for all sorts of different prices. Yeah. Actually, I wonder if it matters what flight you got it from. That's the Theros set. So, what did I say the set was again? Lorwyn. Lorwyn. I'll see if that makes a difference, actually. Whoa. Okay. It's going for $33 on eBay. Huh. This card's actually worth something. I should probably sleeve it and, like, take better care of it than I am. Okay. Do I have any appropriate sleeves for it is the question. I never thought this would happen. I regret not buying more sleeves. So yes, I definitely should be sleeving this card and treating it better. I do in fact have some black-red sleeves. That will totally work fantastically, actually. Let's totally do that. Okay. And let me think. Maybe I should post-it note how much these cards are worth. But yeah, that card's worth about $30-ish, $33-ish AU. How am I gonna do this? I want to make sure that I don't damage the card in any way whatsoever, and that I do actually note down that these cards are actually worth a fair bit. I guess as time goes on, I will find out if that's, like, super a lot or not. Should I put it on the front or the back of the sleeve? I mean, I think the front. We'll put it on the front. And I will just take a pen and mark it. This is worth, I'm going to put $33. And I'm going to put AU so that I realize, because, I mean, not everybody has this problem, but, like, sometimes, especially if you buy a lot of things online, you can fall into the trap of, I totally miscalculated how much it was worth because it was in a totally different currency. Which was why, for a while, I, like, super hated buying things in Great Britain prices, because, like, it would say one price, and then after all the exchange rates and everything, it'd be, like, a totally different price, and I'd just be like, my brain couldn't even... And that's also why I ended up really loving buying stuff from Europe, was purely because, like, it would say, like, it's €100 or something, and then it'd just be, like, $1 in Australian, and it was just like, ah, cool! Because the exchange rates between Europe and Australia were, like, so good. Like, literally so good. Yeah. I should put this in a box. I do have the clear boxes. I do have these clear deck boxes that I bought online, probably from eBay. Might have been Temu. Probably eBay. I think these ones were from eBay. Does it say on the box? Where did I buy this from? Again, I don't want to dox myself or anything, but... Address. Storefront of Wagua Primary School. Apparently I bought this from a primary school. What? As everything else in the world, it is made in China, so... It does say storefront. I mean, maybe they're just selling these cards in primary schools now. From an actual store. I mean, I suppose, like, having a store like that is, like, on school property is probably not that strange. Like, because we have tuck shops, you know, like milk bars kind of thing. Like, I don't know if Americans use the word milk bar. But, like, convenience stores, like, you know, where you can buy, like, pies and pasties and chips and, like, packet chips as well. And, like, you know, generally food and candy bars. Like, we've had candy shops on our school property. So maybe it's like, yeah, maybe it's just like one of those where it's like a candy store on school property that happens to also sell, like, kids' toys and card paraphernalia. I'm guessing that's probably what the case is. So that could be it. But the point is, they're just your clear plastic deck boxes. It has 80 plus on here, so I'm guessing that's like indicating that you could probably fit about 80 cards in here. It's not really holding the, what do you call, the packets, the foil packets, so I might have to store those separately somehow. Yeah. So, I've also got this pack which is Cold Snap, which I will open now. Well, I say open now, but I've clearly opened these before, but I don't remember opening them. Which might have been, like, because it's, like, years and years ago. Or it might even be my friend's like I said, I inherited all these cards from my friend, because at the time, his wife was like, get rid of your cards, and my boyfriend was like, play cards with me. So, that's why that happened. And I should say ex-boyfriend, because literally we haven't been together for like years, like literal years, and in fact he's married now to like someone else entirely, so I really should call him my ex more than my boyfriend all the time. Yeah. Anywho, this is Gelid Shackles. It's a 1 mana drop, 1 shiny white mana. I'm already loving it. Snow Enchantment Aura. Enchant creature, so this is an enchant, which means you have to have a creature on the table already in order to apply this to it. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature can't block, and its activated abilities can't be played. So you can play this on other people's creatures, and I think that's usually the plan. Or if you have a creature that has some sort of negative effect and abilities, or like, you know, if somebody has played a creature that that forces you to block and you don't want to, you could probably use this. So there's a lot of possibilities of how to use this card. Its activated abilities can't be played. So it's block. So it can't block, and its activated ability. So yeah, if you wanted to, oh, its activated ability, I don't want that to happen, you can nope it. For an extra white mana, a snow mana can be paid with 1 mana from a snow permanent. Enchanted creature gains Defender until end of turn. So you can turn something into a Defender. I think this is great for a lot of like defensive abilities, and as I said, like mana economy wise, I always love 1-drops. Yeah. I wonder what it is worth. Let's go. Let's go. ELID. Shackles. G. Pricings. Cold Snap. It is Cold Snap. That is true. It is in fact from Cold Snap flight. I think that's what it said on the packet. Did I read it? It is in fact Cold Snap. And the Cold Snap symbol is the jagged thingies. Yep. I have clearly shuffled the order of these. Like, really clearly, the order of these cards are all over the place. Ooh, that's interesting. We do have some we do have some fun stuff coming up. Okay, so okay. Again, I shall close the previous stuff because we don't need the previous stuff. Let's see. We've got Shackles, Cold Snap, Near Mint Condition. It's not looking particularly white in this picture. Like, it looks kind of more grey. But it is going for $2.50 Australian. Which I imagine is probably about $2-ish American. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it's like, it is a 1 mana drop that's like fairly common, so there's the lowest price I see in US is 29 cents. So yeah, this is nothing to write home about exactly. This is a pretty common card. Yeah, I don't see anything particularly special about this card. There doesn't appear to be, like, any foiling. I mean, I think the card that I've got, it's slightly bent. So it's not quite mint. The centering seems okay, though. So I don't know what PSA it would be, but I don't think anyone would bother PSAing this kind of card. Because it's a pretty common card. It's a pretty common standard 1-drop card. Speaking of 1-drops, the next one is Luminescence? Luminous? It has an E on it at the end. Is it Luminous or Luminescence? Luminous. That is, again, 1 mana drop. Love the economy. It is an instant. Do love instant cards. Prevent all damage that black and or red sources would deal this turn. This is a very, very good shield. Because it's like all damage. And it's 1 mana drop. And it's just, nope. And and it's black or red. And I play red. I usually red-white, right? So this would be in my red-white deck. And if somebody goes and does the, you know, sneaky reflect damage back on you, so you end up getting red damage coming at you, this would be like, nope, that doesn't happen. So I like this. I like this card a lot. I'll probably put this in my deck. The white shield, the flavor text is, the white shield is not the burnished metal you lash to your forearm, but the conviction that bursts in your chest. That burns in your chest. Okay. The white shield is not the burnished metal you lash to your forearm, but the conviction that burns in your chest. Said by Lucille de Feek's daughter, leader of the Order of the White Shield. And let's see what it's worth. Let's see what it's worth in human dollars. And accidentally close out of the internet entirely. That was dumb of me. Okay, here we go. Luminescence. It's luminesce because luminescent has an NT on the end. So it must be luminesce. Singular, I guess. MTG price. Okay. And yeah, again, it doesn't look like it is selling for much because it is a common, so that is not surprising in any way at all. It looks like Cold Snap is probably also even like the most common of it. I don't even see if there are any reprints. It is going for $5, which, as we know, is a little bit higher than most commons. Most commons are going for like 1 or 2. And there is one in a totally different currency. Canadian dollars. Okay, someone's selling them in Canadian dollars. This is interesting. Let's see if we can Canadian dollars. Let's find out how much Canadian dollars is to an Australian. Yeah, whenever you're shopping online, make sure to double check the actual currency when you see the prices, because that's pretty much 1-to-1. I mean, it's a 1 and 1 cent difference. Okay, it's a 1-to-1. Which I'm guessing would mean if I put this on US dollars, it will also be... Oh, it's 70 cents. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry, chat. I'm just gonna... Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Okay. Do excuse me. I have got the sniffles a little bit. I suspect that is from allergies and such. But yes. So it's not quite 69 cents, but it is 70 cents. Canadian to US dollars. US dollars. So, you know, it's close in price. So Canadian $3.29, which it occurs to me I should have just put it in the actual converter. So that's $3.33 in Australian, which in US dollars is $2.33. So it's again in the $2-ish range. And yeah, it's in your $2 something ish range. And yeah, in general it is usually in the commons, like bargain bins, they are 35 cents. So yeah, I'm guessing in those bargain bins they're like not even near mint. That's probably why they're so cheap in those. But yes, obviously the ones that are being sold on eBay are usually in near mint or better condition. Kiddly dookly. Okay, now we got a land, basic snow land, which is kind of cute that it is a snow land and a mountain, so it's snow-covered mountain. So it is red and, like, it is red mana, not white mana, but it kind of has the flavor text of white mana, even though it is not white mana. It is, in fact, red mana. And I would put it in my red-white deck, just, you know, to be part of the overall aesthetic. The three colorless... Oh, actually, let's find out. I don't think lands are usually worth, like, much more, but you never know. So, I mean, this might be a particularly rare kind of land, because it's not, like, your basic land. Snow-covered mountains, land, empty. Okay. Yeah, it's gone for about $5, so it is a little more than you would expect for a normal land. That's kind of cool. And I get it. Like I said, I was like, yeah, I'll totally put this in my deck. Like, I didn't think, oh, how do I get rid of this? You know? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it looks like quite a lot of places are selling it for about $5. That is Australian, so that'd be about $4 American. About $5 Canadian, and I'm not gonna calculate, like, the EU, Great Britain, and Japanese prices. Like, I highly do recommend this website called XE Exchange. My accounting lecturer at Victoria University recommended it to us, and ever since I have always done my exchange calculations off that, because it is real time and fairly accurate. In fact, it's kind of like a benchmark standard accurate level of accurate, so they do also, like, they offer, like, actual exchange if you want to exchange stuff, but their calculator for checking the exchange rates of prices is really good. I'll swing you guys around and show you if you can see it. Yeah, so this is it. This is the page that I always use, xe.com. Yeah, and I mean, as far as I know, it is available in other countries, because its big thing is it's able to convert currency from different countries. So, and again, if you're like me who buys a lot of things online in different currencies, it is definitely very helpful to just double check that the price that you see is the price in your country's currency. Like how different that is, or like, you know, just to be sure that like your idea of how much the thing is, like, is correct, you know. Yeah. So, another instant. We do love instants. This is a little bit of a pricier one. It is called Chill to the Bone. Bone. Chill to the Bone. It is a 3 colorless and 1 black. We always say colorless, but what it is like any color. So, but I don't know, like I said, my ex used to always call it colorless. So, uh, so destroy target non-snow creature. Ooh. The flavor text says, thick hides and layered armor won't help when I freeze you from the inside out. Ooh, that's ominous. That's a threat. Thick hides and layered armor won't help when I freeze you from the inside out. Mwah. Again, black cards are always so intense. So this is said by Haidar Rhymewind Master. Rhymewind Master. I think the Rhymewinds are like planeswalkers. Like, I mean, they're special heroes in MTG, I'm fairly sure. I should really look that up. Actually, let's totally do that. Let's Rhyme Wind MTG. So, Rhymewind. I mean, it sounds like Skywalker to me. The Cult of Rhymewind was an esoteric order of wizards that operated in Tereshire on Damanaria during the Ice Age. The Rhymewind cultists and their families dwelt in the ancient Rhymewind Keep. Okay. Okay. That's, yeah, that's their background. So they are a cult of wizards. Yeah. Let's also, while we're at it, look at Chill to the Bone. Price. Okay. Yeah. Unsurprisingly, it is going for your $1 or $2 in general. There appears to be one that is going for $7.99. Again, from that guy that's been selling them for a premium price. He said this one is not professionally graded and not very good condition. It is not in its original packaging. So I guess his other ones were near mint, so that's why he was charging more. Yeah. Oh, he is actually Australian based, but he does sell to America and he does get the American cards. So that might also be something. He seems to be specializing in selling these cards internationally. And I mean, it looks like this person clearly knows what they're talking about when they're saying about gradings. And they themselves might be able to tell straight away if a card is, worthy of gradings. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay, so he is selling them for a bit of a higher price, but like I said, I'm fairly sure, from the reviews and stuff, I can tell this person's, giving them proper, premium service, making sure the cards are properly protected and all that sort of thing. Because, it's really bad when you get, when you buy a card online and they haven't, and, they've stuck it between two pieces of cardboard, with tape, and it's or I had one seller that was like, they put it in like the really soft, flimsy plastic, and then they taped it to the top of the envelope, so when you cut open the envelope, you would actually cut into the card, and I was just like, why? Why would you do that? And apparently, like, in their like in their reviews, like people were actually complaining about that because it was just like, that's like not a good way of shipping the card and making sure that the card is safe and like not damaged, particularly since in order to open the thing you have to damage the card. So like clearly this person that's selling it for a much better price is also and you can see like they've got like they're clearly packaging it properly, like in the hard cases and all that sort of good stuff. So I mean, the hard case itself sometimes costs like the actual packaging itself is probably so the hard case card protectors like they already cost a fair bit. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he probably does like put a proper hard case. And I've also, when I've bought a couple of cards online, some of them will put like these 1-mana drops in as like a protector of the card and have like the card that you bought in the middle. So like I have no idea if this seller's doing that, but like some sellers have done that as well to protect the card. But I really think like if you're gonna buy a card online, it would be so much better if they did actually send it to you in like the plastic hard case. In which case I totally understand if like they are then charging a little more because the plastic hard case itself costs money. Like, and like if he's properly bubble wrapping it as well, that would probably make a difference too. And I guess if you're like an actual collector and you want it in proper mint condition and all that, you would pay the extra price for someone to actually properly protect it during shipping. But like if it's like someone like me that's like, I just want to like, you know, play the actual card, then yeah, probably those cheaper sellers who might even like, you know, give you like a few extra free cards. That's totally fine. That's totally fine to buy from them. So, yeah, so I was saying that the chill to the bone, yeah, generally about a couple of dollars, but there is one that is like $5.95 or something that is from that premium seller. Goblin Rhyme Runner. Here we go. Okay, so again, he's a common, he's a goblin. This is what we expect from red cards, actually. Red cards tend to have plenty of goblins and sorceries and quick burns. And, like, I mean, this is why I actually love playing red, because they're also more economic with the mana expenditure. As you can see, it is a 1 red to colorless. This one is a snow creature goblin warrior. So again, absolute synergy with my red-white decks. Tap, target creature can't block this turn. That's good. So someone brings out their big blocker and you just go, have a little lie down, buddy. Just back off as we charge. This also has a A snow can be paid with 1 mana from a snow permanent. Or, Goblin Rhyme Runner gains haste until end of turn. So you can give this guy haste, he can be a little quicker. Rhyme Runners set off avalanches to immobilize foes as well as to create more challenging slopes. Yep, and he's a 2/2, which economically, I think that's fair. That he's got. So there's a 3-cost mana, he's a 2/2, but he also has some cool abilities upon tap and upon spending more mana. So I think he's a pretty cool solid card. Definitely goes well in a goblin deck. He looks like a team player goblin right there. And yeah, again, nothing too surprising at all. Generally going for he's actually he's doing a little better than the other commons. He is more in the $2.50 kind of range there. So he's, let's see. I'll just look him up on a couple of other things here. Yeah. Yep. In the bargain bins, like, you know, slightly foxed, he'll be 13 cents, like all the other commons. I'll just check. Apparently you can check if they're different country, like, printings are worth anything different. Nope, doesn't look like that at all. Because, like, I had earlier that Spanish one that was worth, like, a lot more in Spanish. Yeah. I don't see anything particularly great about him. There is... Nope, that's a totally different card, but yeah. It's like, I was like, oh, there is one expensive one. Oh, wait, no. He's just a different kind of goblin. That's a totally different card. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. He's a solid card that you would probably put in your deck amongst your other goblins. And he is, therefore, in the more $2.50 kind of range rather than your $2 range. So, yeah. He's a good solid card. I'll probably hang on to him. Okay. Surging Might. Surging Might. This is an enchantment aura. It is 2 colorless, 1 green. It's enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2. It does have a Ripple 4 effect. Let's see what Ripple 4 does. When you play this spell, you may reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may play any revealed cards with the same name as this spell without paying their mana cost, and put the rest on the bottom of your library. With the same name as this spell. The spell is Surging Might. When you play this spell, Ripple. Interesting. Okay. So this is to vary. This is one of those restack the deck kind of cards where you basically, it's so that you know, like, what your cards are in what order, and you can purposely place a card on the bottom of your deck. As well as this allows you to basically see, like, if you have more than one of this particular card, I guess you can, like, just keep doing that. Just keep looking through your deck for a particular card and then putting them on the bottom of your library. I guess it's great if you have some way of like summoning cards from the bottom of your library somehow. Surging Might. Let's see if this is okay. Doesn't appear that it's being sold very much, but it is being sold for $2.50. So yeah, much like the Goblin Rhyme Runner, it is selling for slightly higher than most of the common low mana drops. Yeah, about $2.50. $2.50. Okay, Frost Raptor. It is a 2 colorless, 1 blue. It is a snow creature bird. Flying is fun. Flying is definitely a fun ability. Because you do get these comical moments where your opponent does not have any flying or reach, and they're just like on the ground going, ah! Come back down here! Ah! And you can just fly over the top of them and hit your opponent player in the face. So flying 2 frost that can be paid with your snow permanents. Frost Raptor can't be the target of spells or abilities this turn. Can't be the target of spells or abilities this turn. So, that's a good nope card. A good nope. You can't target me. Haha. And it is a 2/2. So, yep. Decent mana economy. Pretty basic card. As for the artwork, it's got this big bluebird. Birds. If you're new to this channel, I do have I have healed from this trauma of playing Final Fantasy X and doing the chocobo race, trying to get the 0/0 time for the legendary to unlock the legendary weapon, and kept getting swooped by bluebirds. Bluebirds. Oh, the trauma. So yeah, whenever I see bluebirds, I'm like, bluebirds. So yes, this is a great card for traumatizing. I might try to sell this. How much is this worth? I don't want this. Frost Raptor. I mean, it's kind of more of a dinosaur. So maybe I can sort of think of it more of a dinosaur and thus not trigger my... It is worth $3.25. Interesting. So yeah, this is worth a little bit more than than other commons. It is worth a little bit more than the other commons. But the price did kind of plummet after July. So, as all the other cards... Oh, that's interesting. It actually started off a lot stronger than the other cards, and then the price went up, and then all of a sudden it plummeted. For no reason that I can discern. Like I was saying, after July 2025, a lot of the cards, like, spiked up because people were, like, spending their monies on it. And then all of a sudden, this one's been plummeting down, which is kind of different. Plummeting down. Interesting. Yeah. That's quite surprising. Especially since, like I said, I just saw it online for $2.74, and it's not the guy that's selling them at premium prices either. This is like some other dude. And this one is in near mint condition. I mean, I suppose this one's in near mint condition. It was reprint. Oh, okay, so it was reprinted in 2006. Okay, so maybe it's because there was a reprint, and so it wasn't as rare anymore. Like, it had become more common. That is a possibility. That is a possibility. But the reprint would have been way back. Would have been 2006. That would have been 20 years ago. No, that still doesn't explain why the price suddenly plummeted. Because, like, according to this chart, it plummeted all the way down to 17 cents was the lowest point, but then it's kind of gone up and downish again. But it's around 58 cents and then went down to 17. But, I mean, I would say that it would probably be worth about $1. And like I said, it is currently on the market for $3.93 Australian, which is $2.72 US. So it's like, and there's a couple of postings for it for around the $2.50 kind of range. So, I mean, I guess it's not in high demand, but, and this company is selling them for $1, but they're selling like all their cards, all their commons for $1. So, and I do know there's a shop in the city here in Australia that they basically, that is their policy. They're just like, if it's a common, they just put it in the bargain bin. Like, oh, I mean, it's not really a bin because they actually do like have like files like little card file things that you can go through that, and they are sorted by color. So it's like all the red ones are in this one, all the blue ones are in this one, and their policy is basically like all the commons are just $1, just across the board $1. So if if you're just like after a common, it would just be $1. $1 would be very standard in Australia, I guess is what I'm trying to say. $1 commons would be like extremely, like, that would be the most normal price that anyone would expect. Mostly because companies would just do that. They'd just be like, we're not gonna like sit there grading and evaluating every single one of these commons. So they would just go, commons are across the board that much. And of course, like, the uncommons and the rares, they would have locked in their glass cabinets, and they would be properly, like, priced, like, assessed for how much they're worth and how much they're in demand and all that. So, yeah. Currently slightly above the average cost is what they are on eBay. Okay, so Corvican Mist. Corvican Mist. Already liking the mana cost here. It is 1 colorless, 1 blue. It is a creature of illusion and has flying. A Corvican Mist's power and toughness are each equal to the number of illusions in play. So it is a star power that is dependent on how many illusions you have in play. So the flavor text says, plague-induced dreams become real as they swirled above Krov, mingling with the magical residue of the world a spell. Ooh. See, blues are so much more mystical and magical. Yeah, let's see what he is worse. The Corvican Mist. Corvican Mist. Yep, nothing too surprising. Yep. $1, $2. And that premium guy is selling it for $5.99. I'm actually gonna shout this guy out. This guy is magic_traders_single_cards. I mean, again, not sponsored or anything, but I think this guy, I gotta respect this person's hustle. And looking at all the reviews, I think he deserves some support here. He's clearly giving people what they want. They're constantly saying packaged well, so my theory about it like being in a proper like in a proper plastic sleeve, like proper protective sleeve and all that is probably right on the money. Yeah, there's so many reviews saying good packaging, well packaged, so I'm guessing that's what his big thing is, that he does make sure that they are packaged well and that they're classified correctly, because he does say this one's in very good condition. And yeah, his photos are very clear. You can see the little bit of white where there is foxing, so and you can actually tell from the photo like how scented it is and everything, so he's doing good work. He's doing good work. Books. This person's bull Irks. I have a little typo in there. My bad. Yeah. So, this is a 2 mana drop. This is a 1 colorless, 1 green. This guy is a big bull dude. I quite like the art. He's a creature. He's an Auroch. I'm not sure what an Auroch is. Trample. He has Trample. Whenever Bull Aurochs attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each other attacking Auroch. Oh, so they stampede. That is pretty cool. The flavor text is, the Auroch herd is content to graze until the bull provides the dissenting urge to charge! Okay. Yeah, so this guy, charge! He leads the stampede. He is a 2/1, so he is 1 more dangerous than he is strong. Yeah. Okay. And real human money's wise price. Yeah, he's between your $1 and your $2.50. So I'm seeing more variance in his pricing, which I am guessing means that sometimes he's more in demand than others. I guess he seems to be quite dependent on how many other bull creatures you have in your, how many Aurochs you have in your deck to begin with. So it depends a bit on if you want to build a deck around Aurochs or not. Yeah, otherwise he's pretty standard. He's pretty standard. I don't see the premium guy selling any at all, so yeah. But he's pretty common. I mean, he's a solid green, but it is kind of dependent on if you want to have those kind of creatures in your deck. I think greens are more likely to have elves and sporelings. Martyr of Ashes. I actually have a couple of these. I guess I have the Time Spiral one, I think, though. So I might have the reprints. So this is Martyr of Ashes. I think. Am I totally making stuff up? I am making stuff up. They only have Cold Snap, so I can't have. I must just accidentally have it in my Time Spiral deck, because I was like, ooh, red card that goes in this deck. So there is only the Cold Snap version. So I am just making stuff up. I do see a foily. Someone is selling a foily. Someone is selling a foily for $5. I think they could have asked for more. It is actually kind of like, I mean, because after all, it's got fire. It's got fire, like, happening right here. So foil always makes fire look cooler. But yeah, in general, this, unless it's a foil, it is your $1, $2 kind of level of common card. It is a creature, human shaman. But, I mean, it's a 1 mana drop. Love the economy. That's why I have it in my deck. It is a 2 colorless to use its ability. Reveal X red cards from your hand. Sacrifice Martyr of Ashes. Martyr of Ashes deals X damage to each creature without flying. Flame attack. She turns ash into flame and burns enemies to ash. Mwahaha. Yeah. Boom. Yeah, I like her. She is kind of like, it is kind of a bit. Okay, so the reason why she's great in my deck is because I can then use her to sacrifice to my Gargidons to get my because she is a creature, so I put her on the table for a turn, sacrifice it to Gargidons, take a time counter off that, and then reveal the cards, and then and then deal the damage, and yeah, so she can do all that, and she also becomes, she also brings out my other cards better, so she has, like, great synergy in my deck, and, ooh, she has great synergy in my deck, so, I mean, and I literally can't complain for 1 mana to get her on the table as a 1/1, that's... Yeah. But she is a common card, and in real life, money is only worth $1 or $2. Speaking of martyrs, we do have another martyr, but this one is the black version, and thus he costs 1 black mana, and he is the human wizard creature. And for 1 mana, reveal X black cards from your hand, sacrifice Martyr of Bones. Remove up to X target of cards in a single graveyard from the game. That is actually a really good ability if you have that annoying friend that stacks their graveyard only to summon their entire freaking graveyard. You can then remove that crap from the game so that it does not come back. Again, with the metagaming. I realize that I am running low on batteries, so I should plug you into power. Power. Absolute power. Mwahaha, power. I should have done that from the start. I'm plugging in the wrong side. And I did not think this through at all. At all. Power. Okay. Line that there. Go there. That. We have power. Okay, great. Yes. Flavor text. Puppeteered by Hydar's icy hand, they were sacrificed to the Frost Marsh to raise Hykon's army. Again, Black very into the whole necromancy stuffs. Obviously, it's about the bones. Martyr of Bones. What is he worth? What is he worth, chat? Okay, that guy that's charging premium price, $5.99 Australians. Which, yeah, I guess is about $5-ish Americans. Yeah, Master of Boltzmann. Yeah, he's your standard $1 or $2 human monies. Human real world monies. The interesting thing though is his foilie is currently only $1.99. I kind of agree. The foil is not making him look any cooler at all. It looks like the foil shine is mainly on the border of this card and not coming through too much. I mean, I reckon if the foil was kind of more on this part here that like made this part shiny and glow a bit more, then like maybe, but it does not look like that's the case at all. So his foilie is only worth $2 on line at the moment, as far as I can see. I am gonna check him out on Scry Market, which is the website I've been using, as well as I've been using eBay to see the prices. There's a couple of other websites that do assess the price of cards, but yeah. Yeah, it looks like a couple of places are even selling him at 40 cents. So he's even on the cheaper, he's even, of the commons, he's like on the cheaper end of things. Which doesn't really surprise me. He's got a very niche kind of ability, which, I mean, the beauty of all Magic the Gathering cards is if you can find the exact situation where it's like, haha, it does something that, you know, combos really well with the rest of your deck, then it goes from being like crappy to overpowered like so easily. So, I mean, that's why I really love playing the game, because like the whole thing is about outsmarting the other person in combos. So, and this was why earlier I was like, ooh, we've got a little bit of fun here, is because we actually have 2 uncommons in this pull. So this is your Steam Spitter. Mana-wise, a little bit pricey. It is a 4 colorless and 1 green, so 5 total. Now, I'm going to say, for that much mana, and the fact that it's uncommon, I'm going to be expecting it to be able to do some pretty cool stuff. So let's see if I am right or not. This creature is a spider. It is a Steam Spitter that can block as though it had flying. So it does have reach. It does, which means it can stop flyers, but it is not technically a flyer. This is actually pretty common with spiders because the idea is they can climb into a web and thus be in the sky. So that's its ability there, and it does have an extra pump ability, which is a red mana. So this would be good in a green-red deck. Steam Spitter gets +1/+0 until end of turn. And it is a 1/5, so it is a quite a strong blocker. It is quite a strong creature that can withstand a bit of a pounding. And yeah, the fact that you can really, really pump how much damage it does means you can block and then totally destroy the thing that it's blocking. Yeah, that's a pretty good card. I gotta say that is what I expected. That it has like good ability. That it is a bit expensive to get out on the table, unless you have some special fetch ways of doing it, and then it does cool things. So that is what I expected. And the flavor text. Its belly produces a boiling hot fluid. It can spit as a weapon or spin slowly enough to freeze into a defensive web. Yes. So that right there. As I said, the reasoning was that they can use their web to like get up into the sky and stuff. So that's why it can block as though it had flying. In this case, apparently it spits hot fluid at things that are flying above it. That's how it has that ability. Nice. That is, I expect this card to be worth a little bit of a pretty penny, in real life monies. So, but let's see if that is the case. I personally don't know many people that have like a green-red deck, but if people are building a green-red deck, this is a solid card to have in a green-red deck. Yep, yeah, the demand for it is not that great, and I suspect it's because not a lot of people play green-red combo. So, yeah, it's going for your $2, $2.50 kind of level of pricing. And yeah, the big companies are pretty much chucking it in the commons box with the rest of them. It's your 35 cents to $1 in their bargain bins. That's bargain bin price. Yeah, does not look like it is ungraded and near mint. So the ones that are on eBay are in near mint condition. It does not look like the guy that's selling premium cards has one up at all in the first place. I would say, yeah, this card, I think the reason why this card isn't worth more money is because there's not as much of a demand for people playing red, green, or having a green deck where they have some ability to cast red. Like, I think this would be so much more powerful if they had have made that colorless instead of red. And it would definitely be more demand if that was the case. I think where it all falls down is the fact that it's like two colors that people don't generally play together. Okay. And this was where I was excited because we got an artifact! We got an artifact, uncommon artifact. I do expect this to be worth a bit more because artifacts being colorless can go into like any color deck, any color combination you like to play. So already like 2 mana colorless is very economic mana wise, very mana efficient. Love that already. Snow artifact. Snow artifact, and look, I love the art already. I love this shiny art. I would expect that if it was a foil, it's probably going to go for a fair bit because it does have like a metallic shiny kind of aspect or like aesthetic kind of thing happening. It's a snow artifact from the Cold Snap like set, which is like so fitting. And it says Cold Steel Heart comes into play tapped. As Cold Steel Heart comes into play, choose a color. Add 1 mana of the chosen color to your mana pool. It's 2 colorless mana and you get to tap it for any color. As it comes into play, so you do lock into the color once. I think that's how it's worded, because you choose the color when it comes into play. You don't choose it each turn or anything, because that would be overpowered. But still, like I was saying, it's like, oh, I wanted to play like a red mana in the middle of my green deck. That's still the thing that would do it right there. This would also be good for like your sliver decks where you want to get like a bunch of different colors out. Yeah, I'm already loving this. I'm not letting this one go. I'm sleeving this one. I'm sleeving it. Where did I even put the sleeves? They're over here. They're in front of me. I'm blind. They're just in front of me. I'm sleeving this. I'm keeping it. I'm putting it in my to keep pile. You know what? That's what I'll do. I'll have a to keep pile. Oh dear. Oh dear. I've literally just dropped it. But I have sleeved it, so it is safely in its sleeve. So fret not. It is just under my desk in a position I can't reach it in because I got tiny arms. Tiny arms. Okay. I'm keeping this and most likely going to use this. And I'm going to put this in this box, which is separate from the other box. But I am going to see how much it is worth in human monies. Cold Steel Heart. Cold Steel Heart. Cold Steel Heart. Yep. Not surprising at all. It is like $3-4. So it is worth more. I do see one that is $8. I'll just see if that's from the premium seller. It's not from the premium seller. It is going for $7 from a few different sellers, so more than one seller is thinking that it's worth at least $7. But there are certainly like people that are undercutting that at $3 there. So yeah, like I am completely unsurprised that this card is worth a little bit more. Because that is a pretty good ability. I might even get a few more because you can have 4 in the deck. You can. And it is legal in Modern, Legacy, Vintage, Commander, Oathbreaker, Historic Brawl, Comp Brawl, and Timeless. So it is legal in a lot of flights. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like $7. In 2022 it was $7. And it was sold for that. Oh, that was Jumpstart though. This is not the Cold Snap ones. The Cold Snap one. Okay, so it has been released in a couple of sets. So it has been released in a couple of sets. So it was released in Jumpstart and Double Masters. Okay. It looks like the Cold Snap version is... Let's see. Is this one the Cold Snap? Yeah, this one's the Cold Snap one. So yeah, they're selling this Cold Snap one for $7.70. Someone's selling this one as Cold Snap as well for $8. They've listed it as used. That's... I kind of feel like the person who's done this, unlike that premium seller, does not really know that much about this, about cards. Okay. They're saying that they still packaged it well. Oh, and people were like surprised that they managed to ship it quite fast despite it being from Australia to America. Yeah. Oh, and their postage price is pretty reasonable too, at $2. So, yeah. Okay, yeah. That card is definitely worth a little bit more. Yeah, definitely worth a little bit more. So it's around $7 or $8. It is, however, a uncommon, so it is not your common card. Trying to see what their worth is foilies. Do they even have foilies? I don't see any foilies. Yeah, I don't even see any foilies on the market at all. Oh, I don't see any on the market, but it does exist. And interestingly enough, the photo is on the background of the guy that does the premium stuff. Okay. They do exist. That's super tempting. I've got a feeling I'm gonna end up buying more. No, I'm not going to. I'm not gonna. I'll just put this on my saved. Let's move on. The rare. This is super mana expensive. I'm looking at it right now going, whoa, that is 5 colorless and 2 green. But I do know that green does have a tendency to have, like, get lands out quite quickly. So it being green means that that is not as high a price as if it was in, like, other colors. But that is still pretty high. That's still pretty high. I'm not gonna lie, 7 mana is a bit of a steep price. I do expect this to do some cool stuff, so let us read. Creature Elf Warrior, who appears to be riding a raptor, which, in all honesty, is like pretty damn cool to begin with. My apologies, not a raptor. It is an Allosaurus. All you dinosaur fanatics out there who do in fact love dinosaurs, all you paleontologists and such, Jurassic Park fans, do not come at me It is an Allosaurus. Allosaurus. Uh, you may remove 2 green cards in your hand from the game rather than pay Allosaurus Rider's mana costs. Okay. Oh, okay. So that's great. That's great. You can do something else instead of actually spending 7 mana, which is a lot of mana. So remove 2 green cards from your hand from the game.